Hey, what's up guys? It is officially a 2025. Wanted to make a video and kind of go over my goals of what I want to do this year, right? 2024 was a pretty crazy year for me. For those of you who have followed my journey, 2024, January, I had about 20 to 25 3D printers in the basement of my home. We just got over Q4 and it was a crazy season, right? We did over 5,000 merchant fulfilled orders in just a few weeks from the basement of my house, running 20, 30 printers. And I was kind of, at that point, kind of over it, exhausted from all that. And in May of that year, May of 2024, I was going to be moving from my house to a new location. So at that point, I decided to either continue to run this print farm from the basement of my home, in my new home, I should say, or move this operation into a warehouse where I could grow the business, expand it, hire workers to work on be a part of my team, and substantially increase the amount of printers that I had producing the things that I was selling. So that was a very crucial and pivotal point in my business. Up until that point, like I said, I was running everything from my house for the longest time. But it's always been kind of my goal and my dream to have a bigger space with a lot more printers, having a team that works with me, not just me doing everything myself. And so that's what I did. Found a place fairly quickly, about 5 minutes from where I was going to be living in my new house, which was kind of a godsend because the space that I'm currently in, that I'm shooting this video, was 2,000 square feet. It was empty. It was occupied by it was like a lighting company that was here. They just had warehouse stuff, and they were using it for storage for the most part. But I contacted the realtor in December about this space, and she told me that it was under contract, which was like, at the time I was like, okay, well, I guess it wasn't meant to be. And then January came around, I continued to look, and the realtor reached out to me and said that this space was available for lease, that the person who wanted to lease it backed out. And so I had the opportunity to come in and lease it. The only thing was that it would have to be a really quick turnaround time. So it was like the first or second week of January, and my move-in date, the lease date, was February 1st. And I kind of just jumped right in it. I was tired of waiting around and waiting for the perfect opportunity to come around. As I'm sure many people are, many people kind of had that, I want to have like the perfect scenario of the perfect space, the perfect price, all this stuff. And I think that kind of holds a lot of people back. And at that point I was just like, this is what I want to do. I'm going to go sort of all in onto this space, and that's what I did. So this is the space that I'm in now, the 2,000 square foot space that I've been making content on the past couple of months, and things have been going extremely well, right? I have Evan and Chris that are part of my team. Evan joined me, I think, in April or May, and Chris also joined around the same time. So both of them are still with me, and they've been a great addition to the team. They've learned pretty quickly how to run and operate things here when I'm not here. And I get to kind of delegate the tasks that I want and the vision that I have of the specific products that I want them to help me make and produce. So all of that's great. Not only did that happen, I launched my Skool community. So Skool, if you guys are not familiar, is an online, well, actually, let me back up for a second. I was, obviously doing pretty well, and then during the summer, I was flirting around, social media. I posted some videos here and there, time lapses of like me moving into the new space a couple months prior to that, but I never really, did YouTube really. Ironically, I've always wanted to do YouTube and sort of do like a vlog of, what it was like to run a 3D printing business in the basement of my home. That's kind of always what I wanted to do. I honestly never got around to doing it. In my mind, I was like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. I think it would be cool. Not a lot of people are doing this type of content where they're going and showing you the behind the scenes of, what it's actually like to run a business around 3D printing. And I just never got around to doing it. So it was around June, it was around the summer when I hired Evan and Chris to join my team, and I had more time on my hands. And I said, what, this is the time. No more excuses that I can, invest into this social media and kind of do something that I've always wanted to do. So I launched YouTube. Well, I didn't launch my YouTube channel, but I think it was around June. You can go back and check my videos where I really posted my first like vlog type video. And from then on, I've been trying to post somewhat consistently. That's kind of one of my goals for 2025, is to be more consistent with the content that I post. And so I want to do like 2 to 3 videos per week. You know, if you guys have any suggestions on what type of content you would like to see, what type of questions you want answered, right? I've showed you kind of the behind the scenes of new products that I launch, how I launch them, how I spend money on advertising, where I got my plastic, the printers, the racks, all that type of stuff. But if there's something specific that you haven't seen that you want to see, please leave a comment below and I will try to make a video about that. But yeah, so June came around. I got the DJI camera, which is what I'm recording on now. You can see that I have the DJI mic. Prior to that, I was recording on my phone. It is still pretty loud here when I'm standing next to the printers, because hopefully the mic kind of drowns out some of that noise. I know it's still kind of hard to hear me sometimes, but there's just so many 3D printers here that are running that in such a small space that it's kind of hard to get good audio. So yeah, social media came around and I was kind of torn on how I would be able to monetize social media, right? I always wanted YouTube to be a platform to just, you know, show the behind the scenes. I didn't really care about making money from it. But at some point, right, I got monetized on YouTube. I was like, you know, let's see if there's a way I can do more with this. And so I floated around the idea of doing like one-on-one coaching calls, mentoring programs, putting together a course around 3D printing and how to be successful with 3D printing and all that stuff. And me being around like the e-commerce, social media space, like there's just a ton of people who are selling courses, right? Who sort of, how do you say this? They like prey on this belief that if you take this course, you're going to be able to make X amount of dollars from just taking this course. And a lot of these courses are not cheap. You're talking about $3,000 to $5,000 to $10,000 courses, mentoring programs, all this stuff. And there's people out there who will pay that. I understand that. That is not something that I wanted to do. So I was just kind of figuring out ways of what I could do to, you know, outside of YouTube, that I could help other people sort of get into this space, into this realm of making money with 3D printing, being financially free, and working on your own time. So it was about that time that I stumbled across Skool, so Skool.com. It is basically, and it's kind of like, if I were to explain it, it's kind of like Discord, Reddit, you know, a course, kind of all built into one. You can schedule calls, you can schedule meetings, you can have direct DMs, communication back and forth. And so I looked into that for the longest time, and I decided, you know what, let me just try it. And my goal with that was really to try to build a community where I wasn't charging people like an exorbitant amount of money to join the community. And so long story short, I got into Skool. I launched it. We had about like 100 members in the first week, or sorry, like 50 to 60 members in the first week. We are now currently up to about 270 members in the community. And my goal for this year is to get it to, you know, hopefully double that amount. Eventually, I want this to be the place where people come to learn about 3D printing and how to make money with 3D printing. So what I've done is I've extended the 7-day free trial for an indefinite amount of time. So anybody who is interested, you can go to the Skool community, the link is in the bio, and you can join the community for free for 7 days. If you don't like it, you can leave. I will just say one thing, I do not upsell anything else once you join the community. There is no course, there is no paid, you don't have to pay to access prior Q&A recordings. You don't have to pay to join the giveaways. I just gave away a Bamboo Lab A1 printer around Christmas, and I just announced a new giveaway, which will be for the Bamboo A1 combo in the next, in about a week or so. I have plans to give away a lot more things related to 3D printing. I have a bunch of these Big Tree Tech Panda LCD touchscreens that I don't use that I'm going to give away. I have like 3 or 4 of them. The Bamboo Lab refillable spools, I have a ton of those as well. Build plates, all these things that I don't really use, I'm gonna, you know, use them as a giveaway for the community to sort of give back to the people who are part of the community. Yeah, long story short, for 2025, I want to also put more content onto that platform as well. YouTube, I want to create more content here on YouTube. Now, my plans for the print farm, as it currently stands, is I'm sure you guys saw my previous video of me touring some warehouse spaces in my area. And yeah, I know the warehouse space is super expensive. Ironically, the space that I showed you that was I think like 1350 a square foot or something like that is probably the cheapest or one of the cheapest spaces that you will find in the Northeast, especially where I live in Morris County I think this is Morris County in New Jersey. That's just the price of what it is to rent a industrial space like that. Yeah, I can move the operation to the Midwest. I can move it. That's all nice and stuff. But the reality is, I'm sort of stuck where I'm in this location, right? Friends, family. I have a kid that is going to be going to school next year in the school system here, and so my thoughts with that is, if I can make more than enough money to cover the rent there, to pay my workers, to pay people on my team, it doesn't really matter to me. It does matter, but like I said, the space is cheap, but it's also expensive because it's, this is 2,000 square foot. That space was 8,800 square foot. It's about, 2 times as big as what I'm currently in. It is a very, very big space. If I ever get into it, we'll see. I'll keep you guys posted. But the idea would be to really build like a massive print farm. I want to hire more employees. I want to obviously get more 3D printers. Right, there's probably capacity to 500 to 1,000 3D printers for just that space. And so that's kind of the route that I want to go in. And right, how am I able to actually do this is because I've been bootstrapping this entire operation, which means that I've reinvested every dollar that I've made back into this business. And if you don't do that, you're not able to grow and you're not able to expand. Right, that's kind of where I'm at. Again, we'll see what happens with the space. I don't know what will happen. But for now, we have this 2,000 square foot space that we're comfortable in. We'll see how things go this year. Actually, we'll see in the next couple of weeks what happens with that space, whether or not I'm going to be moving or not. But now that things are slowing down, Q4 is kind of older. We're kind of going to go through the same cycle we did last year where we're going to be working on launching new products and testing new products in the market, right? Designers are always coming out with new designs. You can kind of repurpose older designs that came out last year that maybe you didn't get a chance to test, right? There's major holidays coming up, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Easter, all these major holidays, so you can do seasonal things. I want to do more with Etsy. I want to do more with my website. I want to do more with my my brand, my logo. I want to 3D print like these little QR business cards, which I think would be cool that I can include in every single order that people can just, there'll be like a little tag that has my QR code and my logos, something cool like that that's related to 3D printing. I'm also interested in trying to do more B2B business, so like going out to local businesses and maybe doing some sort of like wholesale agreement with some of the toys that I make or something that they need mass produced. So yeah, there's a lot of avenues in which you can make money with 3D printing. I'm excited to share a lot of that with you this year, and we shall see what happens. But again, like I said, if you guys have any comments, suggestions of what you guys want to see more with this channel, please leave a comment below. Going to be interesting to see what happens with TikTok in a couple weeks with the hearing with the Supreme Court and the ban on January 19th. Also going to be interested to see what happens with the Bamboo Labs in terms of the lawsuit with Stratasys, and also waiting to see what their new flagship printer is going to be like. I'm sure it's probably something I'm not going to buy anyways, but it would be nice if they lowered the price of the other printer so I could pick up more of those. Yeah. Also, I was speaking to my neighbor who is right behind this giant wall. He owns a catering business. He owns the unit next to me, the unit next to that, and the unit next to that. So in total, I think he owns like 5,500 square feet of space that's kind of similar to what I have here. And he was telling me that he is going to be moving out in a couple months. So if I was interested in leasing his space, then I could essentially get basically 3 times of what of the space I have here right next door. I don't know exactly how that would work. I'd probably have to like open up one of these walls so that I get access to it, but that is a long shot of what would actually happen. But it is somewhat of a possibility that that might actually happen, but who knows. All right guys, so those were some of my goals for 2025, right? I want to do more with YouTube, more with Skool. I'm hoping to get into a bigger space with 3D printing. We'll see if that actually happens, but right now those are the 3 goals that I have. Yeah, let me know if you guys have any comments or questions, and if you like this type of content, please consider subscribing to my YouTube or any of my other social media platforms, and I will see you in the next video.